While walking in the hilly coastal ranges of Northern California, you may stop to take a break in some shade. While resting, you notice the character of the forest around has changed. No more sun-dappled chaparral bordering oaken woodland. The trees grow tall here and cast their shade upon you. Stepping off to get a closer look, you rustle up the leaf litter that is built up around their trunks, and a spicy aroma fills your nostrils while a creek babbles nearby. The trees here beckon you to rest under their cool canopy. You have found a fairy tale grove of California Bay Laurel. Be warned, though, like all good fairy tales, these trees also harbor a dark secret. Umbelloaria californica goes by many names, like myrtlewood or pepper tree, but is most commonly referred to as bay laurel. These laurels share their ancestry with other evergreens in the family Lauricae that can be found throughout the world. Our bay laurel's range, however, starts in southern coastal Oregon and proceeds all the way down the California coast. It grows most commonly in the coast ranges here in California. However, no bay laurels are found further away than 160 miles from the ocean. Bay laurels need a lot of moisture to survive, so they need to stay inside the oceanic fog belt, but prefer to live in riparian forests. That's a forest near water. These laurels are ancient survivors that harken back to when our world was a more tropical one. When California was covered with lush rainforests, its range extended much further into the interior state, as well as down into Mexico and up into Alaska. Something that makes these trees unique is their aromatic oil that permeates all aspects of the bay laurel. This scent is a defense mechanism of the tree. The oil is a natural antimicrobial and insecticide that can protect the tree against infections. For more ideas on how you can use this fact for yourself, wait till later in the video. Bay laurel is an important tree in the ecosystem that it calls home. The nuts that come each autumn provide food for many animals of the coastal ranges. Squirrels, seed-eating birds including jays and woodpeckers, invasive wild boars, all eat them, while deer like to chew upon the fresh green shoots as well as new leaves of the California Bay Laurel, both of which are a very good source of protein. Wood rats also use the antimicrobial and insecticide aspects of the laurel leaves in nest building. They line their multi-roomed nests with fresh leaves and replace them every 3 to 4 weeks. These adorable little critters will be getting their own video, so stay tuned. Not everything is harmonious in the forest. The bay laurel plays host to a deadly disease known as sudden oak death. Sudden oak death, or SOD, is a fungal infection that does not harm the laurel itself, possibly due to its protective oils, but it can infect neighboring oak trees. Bay laurels grow much taller on average than their oaken neighbors. So, when moisture is present, like fog or rain, infected bays wash down the pathogen onto their shorter oak neighbors, infecting them. Presence of bay laurels in the forest is the #1 indicator for the presence of sudden oak death. Sod infections on bay laurels look like it has dirt or black mold growing over its leaves. Infected oak trees have black boils and weeping sores in addition to its leaves looking dead or covered with mold. It is important that you do not accidentally spread sod yourself. If you see bay laurels with signs of infection, do not harvest any leaves or nuts from them. If you notice that oaks have the above signs, call your local park agency and report the infections. A quick note before you go out and pick any leaves yourself. Make sure you're not accidentally picking eucalyptus leaves. Both have a similar appearance and smell. It's important that you can confidently ID anything that you forage for yourself. If you are unsure, I would highly recommend visiting your local library's reference section and have a good look at the different native plant guides. It is also informative to sign up for a foraging class. Check local park bulletins for these. As long as you are being a good citizen of the forest, you too can benefit from the bounty of the bay. Their leaves have a variety of uses. In the colder seasons, when you are craving that comforting stew, soup, or braise, you can use our native California bay as a replacement for when recipes call for bay leaf. Simply, pick some clean-looking leaves and dry them in a baking sheet between 2 paper towels for around 2 weeks. It is important to only use 1/2 a leaf for every one that your recipe calls for. Not only are our native leaves stronger in flavor than the store-bought ones, but because they are freshly picked and dried, they are extra potent. If you find yourself enjoying the aroma and are feeling a little brave, you can experiment with a whole leaf or even fresh leaves in your recipes. You can steep a couple fresh leaves in hot water to make a delicious herbal tea. Experiment with how long you want to steep them for, as bay can be a strong flavor. My personal favorite to use the bay leaf is to make water infusions with fresh leaves. I find its flavors play very well with citrus and cucumber. If I don't have time for a fancy infusion, I'll just throw a couple washed leaves into my water bottle and be instantly transported back to that fairy tale grove when I have a drink later. You can also use dried leaves to flavor your brines while canning. During spring, when the new leaves are just starting to come in, you can pick super bright green leaves and use them in a salad. They are delicious. They impart that cooling spice without being overwhelming and are very tender. It's important while foraging for anything that you do not strip the plant or area clean of whatever you're taking. Spread your usage and take a couple leaves from multiple trees instead of removing all from a single tree. This goes for harvesting spring leaves or the adult leaves. One more interesting thing you can do with the leaves is to make your own mothballs. Luckily, I've never needed a mothball, but if you do, just take some washed fresh leaves and place them in a large, loose leaf tea bag and place them in your drawer or closet. Even though I've never needed to keep moths away, it's fun having my clothes smell like the forest. Replace the bags every 3 to 4 weeks. Thanks for taking this trip with me into one of my favorite ecosystems. The bay is a really awesome plant to know. It has so many lessons to teach us. Later, we are going to revisit the bay laurel and show you some cool things we can do with its seeds. Remember, only take what you need and stay safe.